Welcome back to the Reels and Panels podcast. My name is Matt.
My name is Eli.
So today we're going to be going over our Spider-Man Brand New Day reaction.
It's finally out. It feels like forever. I mean, I remember seeing all the leaked clips and everything, and it's so crazy that it's finally out. So I'm so excited to talk about it.
Yeah, so we'll start off with a spoiler-free review, and then we'll go into more of the spoiling stuff at the end, but we'll give you a prompt warning just, so we don't ruin anything for your experience. Yeah. But yeah. What are some of your initial thoughts in a spoiler-free manner?
The movie looks phenomenal. Like when it comes to the way it's shot, the way it's color graded, just everything about it. It just looks so much better than your average like Marvel movie. And I know a lot of people complain about how like some of them just look kind of gray. Mm-hmm. That is not an issue with this movie. I don't think there's a single shot in New York or wherever they're at like that's gray.
Yeah, no, it's shot
such
very
a cool
beautiful
tint on it. Like everything, like with its color grade, it's got like almost a green tint over it, like a very filmy look. Like it doesn't look like digital or digitized. Love that. I love the music, both the score and the soundtrack. I've been listening to it all this morning, so like the whole drive here, just blasting that in my car. So that's been awesome. Giacchino like killed it again. He's probably one of the best composers. He's probably the best modern composer, apart from like. Of course, there's Zimmer, and of course, there's I'm blanking on his name. The guy who did the Odyssey. I cannot remember his name.
Something with a G.
Garrison. I can't remember right now. But yeah, he's definitely with all of them right now. He's incredible, especially like Planet of the Apes. I know he did the Fantastic Four recently. The more I look at his like discography, I'm like, oh my gosh, he's done like some bangers. Yeah. So love that. This isn't really a spoiler because you see that in the trailer, but the Punisher is like so good in this. And I know a lot of people were worried about it being like convoluted because of like all the leaks, maybe things that were going to be in the movie. It is not convoluted. If that's your worry about this movie going into it. You think it's going to be like Spider-Man 3. You think it's going to be like maybe Spider-Man 2. It really is not. I didn't feel that. It just made it feel lived in. Honestly, that was probably the best way I could explain it.
Yeah, and I think it also was refreshing to not have them skip around other people existing.
Yeah.
Other heroes existing.
They just kind of blend. Like I can't explain. Yeah. It's not like you go, oh, here's a side thing that's happening now. It's like it's not like they had 3 separate plots going on. They all went together.
Yeah, and even with the Hulk as well. Whenever I saw the trailer initially, I thought that it was going to be just
like a gimmick.
to get people a gimmick, and it'd just be like a 10-minute cop out, just like Brave New World.
Yeah,
but
it's not.
No, he was actually
it's a part of the story. Like it tells the story.
It goes really well with the story, and also you have this dynamic of actually seeing Bruce separate, and then you see the Hulk.
Mm-hmm. And I think my last spoiler thought is, even apart from Odyssey this year, this might be Tom Holland's best performance I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, it was awesome.
I thought like Odyssey was my favorite prior to this, but yeah, I think it's just so, and not that like I'm dissing on how he was prior in the other Spider-Man movies. He's great in those too, but it's just like you'll just see once you watch it, and of course we'll get into spoilers talking about it, but everything going on with his character in this, he just like portrays it so well and handles it so well. Yeah. And you can just definitely tell the amount of care that he put into this.
And also just the different levels of emotion that you see him go through. Tom really portrays that super well. And also just showing some of Peter's mannerisms that we see in some of the comics and some of the other films, with the struggle of loneliness with the great power. Mm-hmm. I think Tom did phenomenal.
Very Spider-Man 2-esque.
Yeah.
In that sense. And like I've heard a lot of the reason why some things changed, maybe even like helping with his acting, maybe some of the writing, a lot of that was because the Odyssey influenced him so much. Like I heard that he straight up was like, this is not working, this is not a good movie. And so they redid a bunch of stuff. I think that might have been like at the writing portion of the movie. I don't know if they like filmed a bunch of stuff, but it sounds like it really helped out that he did that movie prior, because it sounds like he had a really large hand in like seeing this. Like he had a solid vision of what he wanted from it, and it wasn't initially what he wanted. So
yeah. Also, I guess it's more of the spoiler. But what are your thoughts? The plot of the movie was phenomenal. I thought I really liked watching the cinematography of this movie. Yeah, I thought that the camera angles, there was some POV swinging. There was some shots where obviously the shot that's in the trailer where it's inside of Peter's mask was super cool. But I thought that the movie was just shot beautifully, and you have some really good camera angles.
Do you think it's on par with Amazing Spider-Man 2 web swinging, or you think it's better? I mean, it has been a bit since I've seen it, but I know that's always a comparison when it comes to like. I know a lot of people diss on Hollins because like he doesn't really do a lot of like web swinging through the city because he's usually like the first movie's the only one he's actually in the city, kind of like actually doing stuff.
Well, I thought that. Yeah, this one I thought they did an amazing job.
Brett Pollock was the cinematographer, but I don't know much of his other work.
Yeah.
He did incredible.
Yeah, I thought the swinging scenes were great. Some of the close quarters.
Yeah,
where you're seeing more of Spider-Man's agility was actually done really well as well.
Is there any other non-spoiler? It's kind of hard to like kind of bounce around.
Just another really good MCU film. I think we're getting back into that.
I think we're getting to a point where Marvel movies, and I think I was telling you this last night, where Marvel movies look more like movies than a Marvel movie. You know what I mean? And not that I'm trying to be like. Some people get really weird about like the film bros are like, oh my gosh, like Marvel movies all look. I don't have that same complaint in the sense, yeah, sometimes they might kind of have a very similar style, but you are getting this very distinct look. It's like this does not look like it just doesn't look similar to any of the Marvel movies, including his other Spider-Man movies, and I'm liking that because it doesn't like same with Fantastic Four, same with Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts had a very specific artistic vision that they went with, and they kind of portrayed that super well. I'm really happy that's kind of we're moving into that. I saw that with Superman as well last year, so definitely interested in seeing how they're going to continue to like differentiate each of these movies in their like film style and stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
Destin freaking killed it. Like he was the guy to direct this.
I mean, you know, he was initially
not a John Watts hater either.
he was initially in line for
King Dynasty.
King Dynasty, and I don't know. After watching this movie, I feel like
he was better.
He could have done it.
He could have done it, but also I'm like, would this have happened if he did King Dynasty though?
No, probably not.
Yeah,
probably wouldn't have had time. So we're very appreciative of Destin Daniel Cretton, you know, not getting the King Dynasty.
Yeah.
So thank you, Jonathan Majors.
No, I was about to say, I didn't know. Thanks, Jonathan Majors. No, thanks.
But now we will be getting into more of the spoiler aspect. So if you have not watched the movie, thank you, and we appreciate you listening in for our non-spoiler review.
Yeah, we somehow, I know you said you saw a few things. Also, yeah, spoiler warning, from this point on we will be spoiling it, so don't listen anymore unless you, and come back. Don't, if you haven't seen it, don't listen anymore, but also come back when you finish it.
Yeah,
see the rest of the review. But do you want to go into, or all I was saying was, I'm shocked we didn't really get that much spoiled. I know you said you saw a few things from New Rockstars, but I didn't get of course, Jean Grey. I didn't get that spoiled. I didn't get like any of the there wasn't like major reveals. Like a lot of people were thinking it was going to be like how No Way Home or like Deadpool and Wolverine was. But yeah, I didn't get any, I still didn't know who the major villain was. Like I didn't know it was going to be Jean the whole time.
I felt like it was going to be Sadie Six's character, and I had a pretty good idea that she was Jean, but I didn't know exactly how they were going to do it. So I was still excited to see how they were going to portray her and how they were going to bring about the mutants into the MCU timeline. Yeah, I felt like they did it really well, and I really appreciated
that really well. Like I'm shocked that
and
they kind of played it into the kind of played it into the marketing too.
They played into the marketing, but they didn't necessarily hide the fact that she was playing Jean Grey.
That's true. Deadpool straight up.
Deadpool said it. Steve Lacy apparently said it.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, he references Jean when he's doing the red carpet.
Do you want to do like just a quick? I mean, you're going down. We don't have to do like a summary of the whole movie, but like kind of just
we'll go on a bit of a linear.
So we'll kind of just start at the beginning. This one, like we said, is very tonally different. Like I feel like Tom, of course, other than No Way Home, like of course losing, like by that point he's lost Tony, by that point he's lost May, but overall he's been having a pretty good time being Spider-Man. This is the first time I feel like he's like going through it.
Yeah, he's going through the struggles of actually maintaining, he really pushes being Peter to the floor. I mean, he does enough Spider-Man work where he's friends with DeWolf, and also where he gets the key to the city, and he gets his own little montage.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we haven't seen
in
Peter
that,
just be
though,
a bum.
he's remembering all of his like friends and constantly watching the reels that Ned's been posting and stuff. So it's like you're like, wow, this like sucks. And I didn't know it was gonna be such a time skip. I'm actually happy they did that because I was like, how are they gonna do this like right after? Because also I noticed during watching this, Tom looks like, I feel like for so long, at least from Civil War to even maybe Infinity War Endgame, he didn't look that different. Yeah. But maybe it's also after watching the Odyssey now, I'm like, bro, this guy looks so different.
Yeah, he looks much older.
So much older, which he's like 30 now. So I mean, it makes sense.
Playing a what 22-year-old?
20s, yeah. Bro's literally me now. Like this was the most relatable Spider-Man, bro.
Yeah,
because I'm literally Spider-Man. It's made me realize it. Going through having to pay bills, having to deal with like pay rent and stuff. Like I'm Spider-Man.
Well, maybe you'll have the the arachnid DNA that you have to balance with an inhibitor.
Yeah. Speaking of DeWolf, so happy I would have to look up her actual name because I'm bad about actual names. But Tina from The Bear. Yeah. That was perfect casting. Like,
yeah, she did great.
She was so cool in it. I got a little scared because this is not a spoiler for the movie, of course. Oh, I mean, we're in spoilers, but it doesn't happen. But a very popular thing with Jean DeWolf, and I noticed as soon as it said she was gonna be in the movie, is she dies in a very popular comic arc. So yeah, I was wondering if they were just gonna like kill her off in that part. So hopefully she stays around for a bit because she's a really good character. Whether they do in the future, I don't know, but. Yeah, I definitely got a little worried. I wouldn't get too attached to DeWolf because they could definitely do that storyline in the future. But yeah, I think she did phenomenal. One thing I noticed in the initial like apartment scene, he passes a girl who has blonde hair.
Yeah,
could potentially be.
Says, hey, I noticed you live in this apartment with me.
Could be Gwen. My thought was maybe Felicia Hardy, Black Cat, maybe. I don't know. I feel like maybe Gwen's a better. I
feel like Black Cat's a bit older.
No, that's true. Yeah. I thought they were gonna like come back to that later, and like when he gets the flowers at the end, I thought he was gonna come back and like give it to her and be like, oh, like because when he's talking to me, he's like, I found people, and like I was like, maybe this is when it's gonna be. So I feel like that wasn't just a one-off thing. I wonder if that's who that's gonna be.
I know that we, with later on in the movie having MJ, confirmed that she has zero recollection of Peter Parker, zero recollection of their relationship at all.
So maybe that's how that plays in.
Maybe they pivot to Gwen. I know towards the end of the movie, you kind of see them interacting more. And maybe it's like, well, maybe they could do something. Maybe they could work something out, but...
Definitely be cool to see another love interest. I mean, especially even someone like Black Cat and even someone like... I mean... Of course, we had Gwen through the Amazing Spider-Man trilogy, but I mean, trilogy, the two movies.
Yeah.
But I would love to see another version of that. I mean, we've gotten a lot of Mary Janes.
Yeah,
and
we've
honestly,
had two MJs to one Gwen.
This MJ is not even MJ though. That's the thing too. Like, she's really not a. I was talking to my wife about this because, her name is Michelle Jones, I think, in it already. So it's like they already changed the name, and then also she just like doesn't act like MJ. Like nothing about her. She like MJ's supposed to be like an actor. She's a really like kind of more upbeat person. This MJ's like really depressed all the time.
Yeah, depressed artist who's also a scientist.
That's true, yeah. But kind of moving on from that point. Like you talked about earlier, the whole point of this movie is kind of Peter's like losing himself to the Spider-Man identity, which is kind of how I think it kind of connects a little bit with like Spider-Man 2. He feels like he's like losing himself, not just like emotionally to Spider-Man, but also like physically. He starts like literally turning into a spider. Like he starts taking on like spider abilities. He starts getting the organic webs, which was
his
super
eyes
gross.
go black.
Yeah, eyes going black. He kind of locks in, like his senses kind of go crazier. What do you think about the tank scene?
I thought it was really cool how they showed, that him and Punisher have some sort of history together in their interactions where they, initially don't get along.
Yeah.
But I felt like it was shot really well, having them go through New York, and then DeWolf calls him and is like, you got this handled or what?
Yeah.
But
that's when he's dealing with like the headache stuff.
Yeah, and then we have the initial attack that we see on the
damage control,
the damage control building, and seeing that obviously that is a pivotal location in this movie. We know that that's later on where they're keeping Jean's sister Sarah, and experimenting on her.
Yeah.
And so Jean, is trying to get in there, trying to break in and get her sister free. But yeah, it was just cool to see, this
dynamic.
Yeah, this dynamic
So
between
cool.
him and Punisher that we, get to see later on more. But being able to see that at a capacity where it's kind of like almost a Superman or Homecoming, where it's we're in a lived-in universe.
And I've only seen a little bit of like Punisher. I do know some people's worry was like, oh, how are you gonna do Punisher PG-13? And even though of course they make him funny, I think it just suits it. Like I don't think it's taken away from his character. I've seen like a few episodes of like the original Punisher, saw him in Daredevil and stuff. I still need to watch I meant to watch the One Last Kill, but I haven't gotten around to that yet. But I know a lot of people were initially worried about that, but I think they do so much of his character justice in this because it still tackles the central of his character is he wants his family back, and they literally talk about that with him and Peter later on.
And when MJ opens up or notices the pictures of his family. But
I also was shocked that I know you said you kind of figured out that she was probably going to be the villain, but I was still pretty convinced that Mr. Negative was going to be the villain. I know a lot of people talked about, because there was like an emblem. They thought it might be the emblem from the Spider-Man PlayStation 4 game. So that's what made me think it. I don't know. I don't know why I was so. I know a lot of people like, especially when
I feel like they would have shown more.
Yeah.
But,
so that's what initially made me think maybe he was going to be the villain, but then they never really talked about it.
Yeah,
the whole point of that like feast. I thought they were going to bring like the whole feast thing back in because I know that's kind of a key part of his character.
Yeah, but I mean they're probably just not going to have anything with him probably until they have more of a Miles.
Yeah. So we talked about Rabbit Mutations. Yelena shows up. That was a pretty funny scene. Her office is literally just like this, like, is it a salt bath?
It's
something?
A sauna.
Yeah. And
she kept adjusting herself, and I was like,
kind of getting a little weird. Bro, literally, I was telling Matt, I'm like, I need to find a trainer who can give me the physique that Tom got for this movie. Yeah. Holy crap, dude. Yeah. Like, not that he's not built for the other Spider-Man movies, but I'm like, dude, this is cool. I was like, I need to look like that.
He was shredded.
Like that, dude. But, that scene was interesting. Like I said, everything about this really does make it feel like a more lived-in New York. I know a lot of people's complaints are like, why do they not acknowledge these other characters? Why would this character not show up? Why would these people...
Why did Daredevil not?
If they're here, which I know... I need to watch Born Again season 2, but I know that he's like in prison, right?
Yeah, he's in jail at this point.
So I'm assuming that's probably why they probably wouldn't have worked with the character of it or the story. And they've also already started filming season 3, so maybe it would have like messed up the story they already had going with that. But I'm happy we got Punisher and like of course Hulk and Yelena and all of them. So it makes it feel so much more lived in. It feels like you just picked up an issue of Spider-Man and you picked up what was going on. It's so much more lived in. It feels like more like the comic universe.
I felt like they really did a good job with balancing kind of the Punisher's language. I know that was something you touched on earlier.
Because he didn't lose his ass. He just like, he didn't lose it.
I think the only one that actually cusses in this movie is Jean.
Yeah, seriously.
Drops a few GDs.
The funniest thing is when he's on the tank and he's like, frick. The Spider-Man. He's like,
yeah.
I was like, that's hilarious.
Yeah, he gets the web to the mouth. Yeah.
Also, how is anything that he deals with in this movie small potato stuff?
I don't know. Yeah, small potatoes is...
I don't get that.
I mean, I would say Sentry... or the Void is pretty big potatoes,
but also I think they deal with the same thing.
Yeah, and an Omega level mutant
who freezes almost all of New York.
But I guess during that montage, we do see some small potato villains.
Yeah, like Scorpions, Spider-Man's not small potato.
Boomerang. Yeah,
I'll stop saying small potato.
Well, when he retracted to being more of the friendly neighborhood, I guess.
True. I've seen so many edits
to the new Avengers.
Bro, fought Thanos. How is that small potato? Yeah. He fought
Thanos and she didn't.
She fought Sentry by hugging him.
Yeah, she gave.
He went one-on-one with Thanos.
She gave him a hug. Yeah. The Void. Could the Spider-Man have even beaten the Void? He didn't have the power of friendship.
Spider senses. He might have had.
Didn't have the
easier.
power of friendship though. Sure, that's the only way they beat him.
He would have kicked him a lot.
He would have died.
Yeah, he would have.
Which it almost does.
Yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, seriously, yeah. I was like, "What are you talking?" I keep
blindly agreeing.
We were going back and forth between Thunderbolts. And I was like, "Wait, are you talking about Spider-Man still?" Also, I mean, we can talk about Jean Grey a little bit before kind of going on with the rest of like.
I think.
The movie. What do you think about Jean Grey's portrayal?
Finally, showing the mutants into the MCU. I don't know necessarily why they did it in a Spider-Man movie,
but
I thought they did really well.
I think it did good. I think that, like I was saying earlier, it makes it feel more like. I mean, Black Panther shows up in a Fantastic Four comic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like things like that. I mean, there's so many key characters who don't show up in their own single issues in the comics, and I feel like, I mean, Spider-Man's first appearance was in Civil War. You know what I mean? So it's like a Captain America movie. I mean, a Vision, Avengers movie. None of these, some very key characters that end up. I mean, Black Panther too. He also shows up in Civil War. I mean, these are key characters that end up getting their own solo movies that showed up in other movies, and I think it, like I said, makes it feel like a more lived-in universe. It's like, oh, we're going into this, and I mean, it makes her motive so much more because, like, as you know, if you.
But I also don't think it really goes into explaining where the other mutants are.
That's true. And I wonder if that's going to change post Secret Wars, because a lot of people have been worried of, like, is there another universe where there's the X-Men and then they come over when it goes to, like, one singular universe? Is there already an X-Men getting formed in this universe? I know some people were like, oh, is it going to be set in the 90s? Is it going to be set in the,
I feel like it will be just kind of a rebooted, but I guess
so it's a modern day take, not going back, like, in time.
Yeah, I think so.
I wouldn't mind that. I mean, it would be cool to have like the 90s stuff, and I know a lot of people wanted like a Wolverine who's like been through time. And I'm assuming with like Magneto, you could just say he like came from the past.
He'd be 80 at this point.
Yeah, so, and I mean,
probably.
You could just, I mean, Ian McKellen's still playing him though. I'm not saying he needs to do it. I'm just saying you can make it work though. And I think a lot of people said like, oh, what if there was like a time skip or something, or maybe he like went through time. You could say, oh, Apocalypse like put him through it.
Yeah.
Something like that. I think you could definitely make it work with still having, without changing the tragedy of his backstory. Because a lot of people are like, oh, make it like civil rights movement. And we're like, don't do that. Don't try to compare tragedies. You know what I mean? There's definitely a good way to do that. But yeah, I liked her character. Do you think she was too evil in this?
She was pretty sadistic in this movie.
She was horrendous. And I mean, it's like, sure, she had some pretty horrible things happen to her. Of course, you find out later on, like, her sister and everything. It's like, yeah, sure, some bad things happen, but she does some screwed up stuff. And it's like,
100%. On
par with Sentry. I mean, that's like the same thing. She takes over most of New York, just like how Sentry does.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how that changes. I don't know that much about like Jean prior to like X-Men stuff, so I don't know if she was initially supposed to, like. I don't know if she's initially kind of bad like that, or
I think it's just kind of dealing with the. It's introducing the main struggle with X-Men, where
people are mistreating them.
Yeah, the primary struggle is trying to find the balance, and that's part of it, where they're trying to find this balance of, can we even coexist with these humans that are experimenting on us, who are prejudiced against us?
Yeah,
it makes sense.
And then we see that one of her main powers, can she mind control? Is that one of her main things she could? I don't think I always thought about, of course, like reading minds and then moving things like telekinesis or whatever, but I don't think I ever realized like she could take over someone. So that was pretty cool.
So you didn't watch the rebooted X-Men movies?
Oh, I did.
Like Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix?
See, I haven't seen Apocalypse or Dark Phoenix. I've only seen Days of Future Past and First Class. I was like, I like blanked for a second. Yeah,
it's kind of like with her
cool
and Charles
showing up.
Her, Charles, Charles's brother in X2.
Maybe Nathan can do that.
Maybe.
But yeah, she's definitely already an Omega level. I don't know if that like changes, because I know like in the original X-Men movies, the first one, she's like powerful, but she can't use oh my gosh, what's the name?
The Phoenix Force?
No, it's how Xavier finds people.
Cerebro?
Oh my gosh, I don't know why I can remember that. She like can't use Cerebro initially because she's just like not on that level yet. But then it shows like through her using it at the end that she does have that power, and she is powerful enough. So they're already kind of laying out at the beginning. It's like she's not just a normal mutant.
I mean, she's able to hold people basically physically captive
for
in
a
kilometer range that expands even further.
Mm-hmm. When initially she couldn't jump between like a few people.
Yeah. No.
So, yeah, that's definitely already setting the standard of like and I wonder if like that's gonna later on. I'm curious if they're gonna do. I know there's a lot of speculation like, oh, I wonder if That'll lead into Dark Phoenix stuff later. Maybe that's why she's dealing with like maybe being somewhat a villain. I don't know. Bruce Banner shows up. Like we said, I think that was a good inclusion. I think it worked out. It's nice seeing a solid Bruce Banner who's not getting like sidelined.
Yeah.
Like, especially like I didn't watch all of She-Hulk, but the episodes I saw, I'm like, why are they like making him such a like weeb? Like they make him, it's like they're downing him the whole time. It's like, bro, we're trying to sideline, make Hulk seem like a loser. He's super cool.
I think they also, in Peter's kind of banter where he pretends to be Ned with Bruce, they, expand more on Peter actually being really intelligent.
Mm-hmm. I like that. Yeah.
He knows a lot about, where they have a discussion about mutation and potentially inhibiting
he's a genius, yeah.
Genetics. Yeah, he's incredibly smart.
So that's Ned Leeds. So yeah, we figure out already foreshadowing. He has the brace thing. He's trying to figure out how to suppress these powers that he has. He's trying to figure out from Banner how he can like figure that out.
And
doesn't work initially.
Yeah.
Let's see. Does that lead into? I'm trying to remember. I know there's more stuff with like the gene and everything. That kind of leads later into when she's trying to take over the damage control building. So I guess we can kind of get some of that. I think all the stuff with Punisher and that was really funny too. Him having to deal with like taking on the Hulk. Yeah. He's like, I have to do what now?
He's like, you're trying to get out of fighting the Hulk.
It's like, that's the Hulk. What?
Yeah, and it deals with him trying to get out of fighting the Hulk, and then
just like spraying him with bullets.
Gosh,
what do you think you're doing?
I thought that they did so well with the initial where you see Jean and then you hear like the thudding in the background.
Mm-hmm.
After she mentions going to Empire State University, and then she, we see her in the damage control building.
Yeah.
Where, she's just doing her thing. You hear thud, 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 and it's leading into the fact that Hulk is down there causing chaos, but we don't see him yet. But then we see Spider-Man he's like scared and he's freaking out, and then you have him interacting with Jean, where you then see the broken inhibitor. And then, Hulk just starts going crazy on him.
Yeah.
But it's that at that point, it's still the smart Hulk being controlled by Jean.
Yeah.
Until eventually, she loses that hold where Savage Hulk comes out.
Yeah. And I love when she takes over Punisher. She's just like acting like herself. And he's like talking like more a girl. Whimsical, it's so funny.
But I thought that they did a great job with portraying that Smart Hulk and Savage Hulk are different physically.
Yeah,
not
this is
just
probably
mentally.
This might be one of the most powerful Hulks we've seen this far. I've seen videos. He's like bigger and like somewhat stronger. I'm assuming he's stronger. That whole scene too, how it's filmed, just like the rotating room.
Like, where he's chasing him in the hallway.
The whole spiral thing. Yeah. Oh my gosh! That
and then he uses the clap. He uses a stomp.
Thunderclap.
He actually is like
doing Hulk stuff. Yeah, he's being Hulk.
He must have played Rivals.
And it took a Spider-Man movie to make him actually be Hulk. So it's kind of crazy. Yeah. Real quick. Okay, I do want to put a pin. We can come back to this in a second. I just realized we did skip a pretty key part. The party scene at MJ's house. Yes. I just realized. I think I didn't write that down.
Where we see with Peter going into the flower shop to get flowers for May.
We know that he's been kind of seeing MJ and Ned. These years kind of show up randomly, and they like acknowledge him, but they don't know who he is. So it's like they don't like say anything.
Do they acknowledge him?
I thought they said it's like, oh, you've always been in the coffee shop, or you've always because like she worked the coffee shop for a bit.
Yeah, she recognized him from that visit at the end of No Way Home, where he couldn't get the words out, and then what was it?
Also,
calling himself Maynard at the party,
and then Tame Impala song hitting in. That scene. Yeah. This is another example. That whole scene in general, so well shot. The whole New York neon lights at night. Oh my gosh, dude, that scene is just a vibe, dude. The whole thing is just awesome. But him going through the party, that was such a cool. It was like a kind of like a one shot.
You see him pull up on Ned's board. The Spidey Tracky board.
A lot of people were initially thinking is like, oh, is he gonna be Hobgoblin now? Is he like turned bad and he's trying to find Spider-Man? But then that doesn't end up being it.
Yeah, it ends up just being he recognizes. We get another nuance to the memory spell where he remembers that Spider-Man was there. Spider-Man was involved, but he doesn't remember it being his friend.
In Italy, yeah. So that's why they're like, oh, like the
so he's like, I created this so I can thank him in person.
Yeah. So that was cool.
MJ with her
friendly neighbor.
Oh yeah, friendly neighbor
friendly
Maynard. You hear her talk about declining a job at a soulless corporation. Wonder if maybe that was the Damage Control.
I wonder. So when I thought that VMAX was a
Roxxon.
company, could have been Roxxon because I know they.
Oscorp. Well,
because Oscorp doesn't exist in this universe though. They say that in No Way Home.
It didn't in No Way Home, but there was a time jump.
That's true. Maybe
but I feel like it'll be Roxxon.
It's probably Roxxon. When I still thought that VMAX was a company, I thought that's what she was talking about. And I was like, oh, does she have like ties to VMAX or something like that? But then it turns out to just be a vent. But
it's just VentMax. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was interesting. Like their whole dynamic. It's like kind of the first time he's really straight up had a conversation with her post like her.
It is the first conversation he's had with her
after her forgetting and everything. And you see that kind of. It's like there's probably somewhat bit of hope until
her boyfriend pulls up.
Ezra Bridgers shows up from Jabba the Hutt. I don't know if you got that from Rebels, but yeah, he shows up. I was like, they're gonna say his name's Paul or something. I feel like there's gonna be a reference there somewhere, but they didn't say it. But yeah, already kind of showing what a lot of people haven't liked about some of the modern like Spider-Man comics is like him getting sidelined as like not being a love interest for MJ anymore. It's like it's just sad. It like breaks my heart.
Yeah, but then we do see, later on MJ, vents to Spider-Man that her relationship isn't perfect.
Yeah. It's like, it sounds like your boyfriend sucks.
Yeah. He tries to put his pitch in while,
Yeah, let's see. We can go back. So yeah, I think was there anything? Oh, that's actually where the changes start though. So that's why I like remembered. I was like,
it's traumatic.
That trauma kind of. And I was wondering. I was like, are they gonna make it like he's somewhat of a mutant now? Because I know the whole point of like you hit puberty and then you have a major or a traumatic event can unlock your powers. But I was like, okay, they didn't do that. But yeah, it kind of started. It jump started that whole change in his like body basically, where he starts becoming more arachnid.
Yeah.
That was a really interesting scene. The whole like him and like the spider cocoon and like all that.
Yeah, where you see that he passed out and then I guess woke up. They didn't expand if it was the next day or a few days later, wearing the webs all around him and just his underwear outside, and then he goes through the laundry room, puts on the juicy pants and the tank. A lot of
people thought so. In the initial leaks, they made it like that scene led into when he's around Yelena, and they thought that Yelena gave him clothes, and that was what it was. I thought that's what it was going to be, but that was really funny. It's like, is that my shirt? No. It's my shirt.
Oh yeah, and you see Juicy when he's walking.
We can go back to, I guess, post after the scene where Jean tries to break in. I do want to quickly say, since we kind of talked about the powers, what do you think about organic webs instead of the web shooters?
Personally, I think it is better for Spider-Man.
But it's kind of gross.
It's gross. And they portray it, and it's like oozing out. They do it
really well, though.
But I think it's better for Spider-Man because they are stronger. Mm-hmm. They also...
His like senses are crazier. He can like lock in more.
But he also doesn't have to make the webs. You don't have to worry about your shooters breaking. Yeah.
But I wonder... Like Toby's, I mean, could he have like a web block, like a mental block, and he's just like can't use web shooters anymore?
I doubt they would do that just because they don't want to repeat the same. Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely, like you said, I think it is going to make it better for the character. As much as I do prefer web shooters. They already kind of show in the movie when is it Scorpion break or the hand? It's when they break his web shooters, and it's like, oh yeah, those can also be broken and they can run out. So it's already taken away the limiting part of being Spider-Man, so he doesn't have to worry about getting more webs or them breaking or messing up. So yeah, I think I'm totally fine with it. I know maybe some people might not be as crazy about it because a lot of people who aren't crazy about Tobey's movies, that's one of the big complaints. Like, why is it organic webs? But
that was never something that really bothered me.
I think I just made sense because that's the first Spider-Man movies I watched as a kid, because that was like Amazing Spider-Man wasn't out yet, but I didn't know that he did have web shooters as a kid up until Amazing Spider-Man. I thought the original origin was that he had like webs coming out as a kid, but it wasn't until like I was younger and when watched Amazing Spider-Man that I realized he actually, like, a key part is that he makes his web shooters. But let's see, that leads into she gets her getting taken away at the end of that scene, that leads into him. Wait, no, actually, okay. She gets taken away that scene. I think we missed. I'm kind of getting some of it mixed up. Does him talking to MJ and going and picking her up, that happens prior to that scene, right?
No.
Okay, so we can cover that, like him seeing Punisher and everything. No, oh yeah, no, it does.
That's
because
when
she gets kidnapped. Then
well, he interacts with
that's before the Hulk scene. That's what
he's messing with the inhibitor after he goes and see, because he goes to see Hulk after he realizes he changes, and he asks if maybe the mutation can be inhibited to a certain degree to take out the bad, and then him and Banner have a discussion, and then he goes and runs a field test within his inhibitor. And then he runs
when
into
Jean says like, "Hey, I'm gonna go find MJ." And then it leads to the
because
Hulk
he fails with the inhibiting, and then he interacts with Jean in the street, and then
we can talk about. Even though we kind of already went past it, we can actually kind of go back, talk about the scene where he picks up MJ, goes to Punisher's hideout. That whole scene was awesome. And
well, even before that, when you have his interaction with her on the rooftop with the neon lights, where Jean is pretending to be MJ and remember these interactions with Peter.
I knew that. I totally knew the whole time that it was like, it was somewhat convincing. Then I was like, no, she can take control over. So yeah, I was pretty sure that was Jean like talking the whole time. And it's funny later he's like, "I'm sorry," because like you didn't know about it.
Yeah, he apologizes.
Gets your consent or whatever. But yeah, what do you think about? Like I said, Punisher being great inclusion. Loving the whole hideout scene. Like that was really interesting. And I was talking to my wife last night. I was like, I feel like if I ever had a complaint about it, I would want to say it was a little slow towards the middle, but also nothing about it I would take out. So it's like, even though maybe at times it could feel slow, I wouldn't want any of it not there.
I think it was just because most of the movie was just so action-packed that the dialogue parts do feel slower, but I feel like they just are so important for providing more context to the sub-storylines in the movie, like with Peter and Punisher's relationship, with Peter reestablishing a relationship with MJ, which she doesn't know at the time until she eventually reads the letter.
So yeah, I loved all that. I liked the whole thing, like Punisher. It's like, oh, like, is your family, whatever. He's like, don't look at any of my stuff. Like, he's very like,
he's still dealing with the trauma. Yeah,
and it's very much like Punisher. He's got like all the booby traps everywhere, like ready to spring on people. He's like, what are you doing? Trying to kill me. Also, what happened on Staten Island, bro? We're gonna get a special presentation on that, bro.
Yeah, maybe soon.
So, love to see that. Yeah, loved. It's funny how like he's constantly telling Frank, he's constantly telling her, I can't take off my mask. He's like so quick to take off his mask for MJ. Like with everything, it's like, oh, he doesn't care about.
He takes it off for her whenever she reads the letter, and she already knows his identity.
Yeah.
So, she's like, I want to have this conversation with Peter, not with.
I think I keep for some reason. So then the Hulk thing, we already covered that. That happens. Unless there's anything you want to talk more about on that scene with the hideout. The Hulk thing, the Hulk scene happens, and then
between the hideout scenes,
yeah, and then they go to
because that's when Sadie Sink's character is arrested by the damage control.
And then he goes back, makes sure she's okay, and that's when she finds out.
Have the conversation, she finds out.
What did you think about that conversation scene?
I thought it was really well done. I thought Zendaya did a really good portrayal of the character, but also I think just not going back on everything and just making it like, oh, I read the letter, okay.
Yeah, that's why I really don't want. I'm at the point where unless maybe if it's on down the road, I feel a little better about it. But I'm like, I'm fine with them not being together at this point, because I'm like, the whole point of the movie, it's like you're growing, you have to move on sometimes. Like that's the whole thing. That's something like the whole thing MJ is telling. It's like you're just growing. Like even whether it's just his powers, whether it's emotionally, whether it's just him trying to figure out where he needs to go from here. It's like he's growing and things are happening. He's got to be okay with it. Kind of. This was one of the first times I didn't end up like completely crying, but I was definitely on the verge of tears. Then he's like, I love you. Like, I want you to know, like, I care. I don't stop thinking about you. Like, I can't live without you. And then she's like, but I don't love you. And I was like, oh,
she's
man.
Like, yeah, I can't love you. I don't know you.
Yeah. And that must have been crazy because like they're married. I was like,
they're married in real life.
I was like, I wonder how hard of a scene that was to do by like knowing that they're actually together. But
I guess it was easier for him to pour his heart out. Yeah.
But it was just heartbreaking. I'm like,
and then you have the awkward swinging back.
Yeah.
Where,
and then go talk to Ned though. That scene was great. It was cool getting to
him getting to interact with Ned, and then you finally have this glimpse of hope in his eyes, where he's like, "Man,
maybe Ned remembers.
I've really missed you guys."
Yeah,
she's like,
that was even more like sad after that, because I was like,
him interacting with Ned almost felt more sad for me than him with MJ.
I know, and I was like, he misses, like he hasn't had this in years, and like I want to build Lego Spider-Man, bro. Like that's the whole time I kept thinking about that. But it's like, yeah, he hasn't had this closeness with them in so long, and he knows he can't really have it. At least with MJ, he knows he can't have that anymore because she's moved on. She doesn't know. Like, it's not the fact that she's not into him. She just does not know who he is anymore.
I mean,
like
she's
the
just
spell
unaware of him.
Completely took away. And I know there was a lot of speculation. It's like, oh, maybe she'll forget. Or maybe I'm fine with it having major consequences. Because it feels like sometimes Marvel can kind of backtrack on some things and be like, oh, it's like, no, this is like for
this
sure
is
a
something
consequence.
Major is sticking around. And also, you know, kind of touching back on something that we see in his original trilogy with Watts, where she's like, yeah, I like to draw miserable people.
Yeah.
And then she draws him, and it's like,
And then that shows up, later.
Yeah, it shows up at his hospital bed.
Let's see.
And then we can go into Jean and Sarah.
Jean, okay, so, like, what do you think about this? I don't know as much about her backstory. Is this, like, completely different, I'm assuming, than... Because I think I looked it up. I don't know if she always has siblings, but she never had a sister, Sarah. Like, sister named Sarah.
Yeah, I don't remember. I know they go back and visit Jean's parents in Last Stand, and also maybe in Dark Phoenix. But they have this interaction where it's like more of a, oh, we love you, we just don't know how to care for you.
Yeah.
But in this one, they changed it to where their mom abandoned them.
Rejects them.
But yeah, I
which is like, okay, yeah.
Don't know how much different it is, to be completely honest. But I guess they were trying to make a more unique backstory that fit more in with the story.
Well, they're also trying to set up like the whole idea of like people don't like mutants.
Yeah.
Like it's like they're okay with people who have like powers and stuff, but the people who are born with them, because they can't have control, in the sense that like, sure, one guy got bit by a spider, these are people being born with those powers, and it's happening more and more like daily and stuff. So it's like they don't have as much, I guess, control about it, and they don't know who has these powers and stuff. So it's like you see a lot more of that the hatred for that, so which is good. Like I do like they're already kind of laying that foundation. It's like it separates, which of course a lot of the end is like, oh, they're both different, they both have powers and stuff, but it is already kind of separating the fact that Spider-Man is a superhero and they view them as like mutants and stuff. So it's kind of laying down that foundation for this universe of like how they view mutants and stuff. But yeah, it was really sad. You find out that's how she learned how to do the jumping and stuff, is that her sister kind of showed her, and she talks about, oh, like how could you do it with like multiple people possibly? And it's like, if you're like powerful enough, and then she like does it.
Well, she realizes what VMAX meant.
Yeah,
where that was what her sister saw with her exhaustion when she was dying. And
then Peter shows up because he realizes that MJ is like, oh, I don't remember anything. Yeah. Like after being taken over by, he's like, yeah, I don't remember anything that happened between that. And so he's like, oh, well, I forget the guy's name. I think I wrote it
down. The damage control director.
It's yeah, for whatever his name is. It wasn't. I don't know if they really said his name a lot. Anyway, he claimed that he claimed that Sarah was like something from his past, and that Jean had kind of like taken his memory and used it.
Well, he does mention it was a coworker of his that died.
Yeah.
So he was, I guess, being truthful in that sense.
So yeah, not a coworker though.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then she's like, yeah, I'd had no memory. So he's like, oh, he lied to me. So that's kind of what brings him into the whole thing. Yeah. She finds out. She looks up at the vent and is like, the last thing my sister saw was this room and this vent and whatever, and like she died here and you've been lying to me this whole time. And you find out the whole reason is that the government's basically trying to find her, and I'm assuming it's going to keep happening. Like I'm curious how it's going to play with like Trask possibly coming in later on, with Stryker being a possibility later on. I'm assuming they're going to have those versions of the characters in the MCU now, but that they are like, oh, they just view them as people they got to experiment on and figure out how to, which kind of made me think of like Stranger Things almost, I'm not gonna lie, her being in Stranger Things. But they're just like experimenting on her, trying to figure out how they can replicate it in other people's minds. And then it kind of backfires when they tell her that she finds out that she dies. And that's when the like whole Omega level
Yeah,
it's like
when her
evident that she's
shockwave, yeah.
Omega level mutant.
And then she
completely
can jump further
Mm-hmm.
where she goes to the control guy.
So that was cool. That was really interesting.
And then they establish her telekinesis.
Yeah, and explains why Punisher didn't get frozen because that was a little confusing. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's because you got to tell her something." He had to tell her something, so that's why he didn't freeze or whatever. But I'm happy he didn't get I'm happy he had a role towards the end, a big role actually.
Well, yeah, it was a shot in the dark.
Yeah, but Spider-Man comes in.
Spider-Man coming back.
Spider-Man comes in, trying to kind of calm her down. And she's like, "You don't understand. Like, you don't get any of this." And he's trying to explain. He's like, "I do understand," or whatever. He fights the Hand. That was freaking sick.
Yeah, he embraces the
Spider-Man and Peter Parker. Yeah. And he realizes he doesn't have to keep doing one or the other. He can balance it now.
We get another awesome camera shot where the camera flips over when he's walking on the ceiling.
I'm assuming she's using her telekinesis to make them like float up together. Is that the whole point, or is that just how the Hand works?
The hand are pretty cool. I mean, they're just ninjas.
I'm just assuming they're like kind of going like stacking on top of each other, but also like floating at times. I'm assuming maybe she was like somewhat using telekinesis with that. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Maybe she was helping.
He gets stabbed at one point. I don't know if they ever really talk about that.
Where the Hand stabs himself to stab Peter.
So yeah, that fight was really cool, really well shot. Another example of like why Destin was, and that's going back to his Shang-Chi fights were phenomenal. I really think his thing is street
his fighting
level.
choreography is,
and that was honestly, I wish they had more of that in Shang-Chi, and I think they're gonna keep using it, like having him direct things. I think he should be over. Like, I wouldn't mind even if he's not directing everything, if it's like we can really tell that this guy's doing really well at this, having like almost here's who's gonna kind of oversee the cosmic side, just so like Feige's not the only one who's dealing with all this stuff. It's like this guy knows what he's doing. Maybe have him oversee the street level side. Of course James Gunn's not there, but maybe someone who's doing really well in that cosmic side, dealing with cosmic side things, dealing with just New York level things, things like that. I think he really understands it, and I'm really interested to see like where he goes with this. If he ends up directing other things, I would be super down. I don't want him like he doesn't want to be super busy, but because he did Wonder Man, right?
Maybe the Fantastic Four director could take over the space stuff. I mean, the space scenes that we saw in Fantastic Four,
incredible,
were really well shot, and they were also
really. This guy did WandaVision too, so I could definitely see him taking over that side. Fights a Hand, gets in there, is talking to her, trying to talk her down.
Jean interacts with Aunt May.
Yeah, Jean, and we keep having this glimpse of like a memory that she keeps seeing when she tries to get in his mind, and she can't get in. That's like the main reason she keeps seeing this memory. And we finally get to see the whole memory play out. It's basically Aunt May being like, "You're special," and some people are not gonna like that. You're different. It's like, but
which goes to mutants as well.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like just because you're different, people are going to try to do horrible things to you.
It's like, but you're incredible, and like you're who you are, and like, you're beautiful. Like you're not something to be like pushed aside, basically. That was a really powerful moment. Really enjoyed that, and it's cool how like they made it work with like you can still vision her saying that to Peter, but it still works with
it works with Jean.
Jean being there. That helps calm her down and everything. Punisher's at this point getting up on top of a building.
Yeah, you see him
getting the
50 cal. And then it pans over in that memory to a super dark hallway where Peter gets into that memory with Jean, and then you hear the shot. He reacts in time and gets in front of Jean,
hits him. Yeah. He's kind of on the ground, and she's like, "No, like it's kind of her fault or whatever."
We almost get a parallel with him and Aunt May, where she's the one saying, like, "Oh, you just gotta breathe, like it's okay."
Well, also
blood on her hands.
Kind of going back to the thing when Peter enters that memory, I did also want to say, I love the whole thing. It's like he's been dealing with all this loneliness, and he found someone else who's doing the same thing. He's like, he knows. He's like, May always told me this. This is what she always wanted me to remember. It's like, you're not alone in this. Like, I'm here for you. It's like, even if you don't think you have anyone, I'm here.
Well, he's like, cool. I've been trying to be okay with living alone. And he's like, I can't.
Yeah. So I really love that. And I think that's probably going to lead to her not want to be alone, joining possibly X-Men if there's an X-Men in there. I don't know.
Well, you see her at the end of the movie getting on a bus, presumably maybe towards the Xavier School for the Gifted.
That's what I assumed. That's what my kind of take was. I was going to say that when we get around there, but yeah, that's what I was assuming that was.
Yeah, then you have Spider-Man. You see
Punisher shoots.
Yeah, Punisher shoots Spider-Man.
Punisher shoots Spider-Man.
Realizes what he's done.
goes to the hospital. I didn't know if it was gonna be that big of a deal. I was like, I know they're not gonna kill Tom because like I'm pretty sure he signed on for at least a few more movies. But it was the closest I think we've seen Tom to like straight up. I mean, other than getting dusted away, but like straight up dying.
Would have died if it weren't for Jean intervening. Mm-hmm. Jean had to, take control of him and breathe for him.
Oh, okay. I don't think I really noticed that. I do love
Punisher says, she was using her voodoo magic to keep you alive, and you see her in the park with the telepathic waves, and she's breathing slow.
And I do love how everything we see in the Punisher, it's like he's this kind of cold-hearted person, but the genuine like pain he feels knowing he shot Spider-Man, he's like, oh my gosh, like what have I done? Like the instant regret. Like he has no worry. Of course he's killing villains and stuff, but it's like he doesn't really care as much. He's killing all these people, but he's like, oh my gosh, like what have I done? So yeah, I love that. I love the scene. It's a reference to the panel from Civil War when he's carrying Iron Spider, but carries him into the hospital, gets him in there. I'm assuming the doctors didn't see his face. I'm assuming that's a given.
They did.
They did see his face? Is that the point? Okay.
Because they had to put the
to take the mask off. Yeah. I didn't know if that was like a part of that, but
they said they cut the suit up to get to the.
I guess it's kind of similar to how they're like, oh, we won't tell your secret, like in Spider-Man 2, like when they help him out. But
on the train,
Punisher got caught napping. He was lacking, bro. He's
the naps
maybe doesn't
no
hate
longer
naps
for the birds. Yeah.
So that was really funny. I'm assuming that was intentional, and it had to be intentional with all the jokes and everything. Love that whole interaction where he's like, I've seen bravery, but like that was something completely different. Like I love that whole interaction. It just kind of gives a whole nother level to Punisher's character. It's not just this cold-hearted person. Like he does still have like feelings, and does still care for people. And I like how it's like him and Peter are finally on the same, like not they were on the same side, but they're they get each other again. And he like gets to talk to him. He gets to see him like with his mask off and everything. He's like, oh, like exactly how I thought you would look or whatever. Yeah, that whole interaction was just so cool, and just seeing Punisher being wholesome is just really cool because it's like it's really freaking awesome, dude. It's like
and you would only really see that in a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, which is why I think it works so much. He's like, oh, I got a plan to get you out of here. Dresses up as him. Starts with that was so funny. He's like waving,
waving to the kids, making himself look shorter.
Yeah, that was cool. That was like so funny. I do like that instead of just a lot of people complain about it's like, oh, Marvel only wants to make jokes, but this one it's like it makes sense for what's happening. All that it just works when they're dynamic.
It's not really just front facing dry humor.
Yeah, it's like genuinely well thought out. Like here's how this character is going to kind of work, and that doesn't take away from their character just because they're being funny at this point. Yeah, and they also have different humor,
But it's also not characters who are just meant to be a comedic relief. Either.
I know a lot of people say it's like, oh, everybody seems like they have the same kind of humor. I feel like that's something that kind of changed. It's like
part of it. That's part of how I felt about Guardians until the third movie, where it just felt like, oh, we have the same characters just having the same humor.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, it gets old. Yeah. I think I felt that mostly in Volume 2.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the movie.
I love Volume 2 though. It's definitely a 5 for me. I love that movie. A lot of people hate that one.
But the movie was great. We see the end credit scene.
Oh, I don't really also know what Kid.
I don't know how much
possibly
that'll actually matter, but
and then it ends with him finally going to Ned. Going in the grocery store to grab some flowers. He's like, I wonder if that was him taking him to.
It would have been to May, probably.
Oh, to May, that's what it was. Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, that's where I thought maybe they were going to come back around to the
flower panel that they show every time. That's true.
I was really wondering. I was like, I wonder if that's him taking it to the girl at the apartment. Because that's when he's talking to May and saying like, "Oh, I've like found someone else. Like I found people now. Like I guess he's talking about Jean. But goes up to Ned, does the handshake. What I do wonder, a lot of people are like, oh, maybe it's because Ned has powers. Maybe he remembers. Maybe the spell doesn't work on him as well as it did on MJ and everybody else. He remembers the handshake, and he's like, Peter. But my thought process is earlier on in the movie, MJ accidentally says, hey, like, you got Peter or whatever. And he's like,
be careful, Peter.
Yeah, and he's like, Spider-Man's name is Peter? And so when he walks in, he says, hey, my name is Peter. And he like does the handshake. I'm pretty sure that's him just going, oh, you're Spider-Man. Yeah. I don't think he
remembers. Also, it's the muscle memory of the handshake kicking
I don't think the spell took away that muscle memory of, the handshake and everything. So that's just my view. He could possibly remember everything, but I feel like that would also, again, take away from the
But maybe just having him remember things and maybe not MJ.
True, because he could still be his guy in the chair at this point.
Yeah,
because like he could be.
He would just you'd have to revert some of that friendship.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's where it ends. That awesome shot at the end with him drinking. I didn't notice this until a breakdown I just watched, but like the coffee cup. He's finally like, I can drink out of this and not worry about it anymore. Like it's the whole thing of him moving on past MJ now.
Yeah, and then you see he's really looking off into the sun, and then MJ's looking off into the sun.
Yeah.
And then Jean's looking into the bus window.
She has the necklace, but I'm like, I don't want her to remember though. Like, I still don't think she remembers. I just think there's this like.
It might just be something where they create a new relationship though.
Yeah. Definitely interested to see like other love interests for him, even if they come back around to MJ. That wouldn't bother me that bad. But I'm interested to see like other characters kind of get their moment. And then it ends with a post-credit scene. We have the Spider Tracker app, and it starts at Earth and then goes out into outer space. Mm-hmm. So what do you think about that?
I genuinely have no clue. I've heard people say it's tracking Battleworld.
Yeah.
However, they don't mention any time skip at all. Mm-hmm. Some people were saying maybe it's tracking other Spider-Men from Incursions.
Maybe.
That seems more likely to me. Some people were saying it's tracking him like, what was it? It was tracking other Neds. I don't know. Like my theory is it's tracking other Spider-Men from the Incursions, but it makes me wonder what Spider-Men are in the X-Men and also the Fantastic Four universe. That's tracking.
I'm curious. I have heard some people like speculate. They wonder if like once this is all said and done, if there's gonna be like two Earths where there's like MCU, only MCU people who only ever been introduced in MCU, and then there's gonna be like the Fox, Sony, Universal world where there's like only the older 2000s characters, like possibly another world. I don't know if that'd work out, but my initial thought was just like, oh, he's in Battleworld and it's like tracking that he went there, but we probably won't see him in Doomsday because there's been like no information about him being in Doomsday unless that gets revealed at D23.
Isn't Toby in the cast list?
I'm not sure. It's not official.
Pretty sure
if they
Toby is.
He might show up. But definitely Secret Wars. I'm assuming Toby, Andrew, him, like they're all probably going to be there. But I'm really interested to see where that moves forward. Maybe could it possibly be symbiote like tracking? Could be tracking this. But we already got the symbiote there though. I don't know. We'll see where that kind of all moves on. But yeah, my thought was probably Battleworld. I haven't heard a lot about the like the incursions with the other Spider-Man. But yeah, I think that's the movie.
I gave it a 5.
Give it 5 out of 5 stars.
TS was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was really good. You can go look at our reviews. I'm E Acrid on Letterboxd, and I don't know what it is.
I forgot mine, and my phone's recording.
E Acrid on Letterboxd. So, which I think I put that in the description of our Instagram. Not important. Anyway, but yeah, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. This is probably my top 3. I really enjoyed it. I can't, like I said earlier, there's not too many things I can like pick apart about it, and even the things I would, I'm like, it makes sense why it's in it, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it was a very perfect Spider-Man movie.
By far the best Tom movie.
Oh, 100%. There's like, I think I do love the other ones, but like I think No Way Home is the only one that could have gone against it, and it just, I think I still love No Way Home, but age-wise, it's like you can definitely see some of the stuff is dated, and I still got maybe a 5 out of 5 stars, but I'm like, this one is just so fresh and so new and just so different. I
think I prefer it over No Way Home because No Way Home was just such a villain cop-out.
Mm-hmm. The villains in this were so good.
Yeah,
even like the
original
one-shot villains. Yeah. Like Scorpion. That was a great version of
Scorpion, Tombstone, Captain Boomerang, Tarantula, Jean, Bill.
I loved all that.
Hulk. Not a villain, but being mind-controlled, but
I'm not sure. I'm trying to think what our next... I don't know I know we talked about possibly doing some Green Lantern stuff before that comes out, maybe reviewing a few comics and then possibly talking about the show when it comes out. I know next month is D23, so we will definitely be covering that. We just shot a video yesterday for the San Diego Comic-Con announcements, so that'll be coming out soon, but I can't think of anything specific that we can straight up say, hey, this is what we have planned right now, I guess, as the next episode.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll figure it out. I think that's all we have for today. I hope you guys have a blessed week, and don't forget to keep it real.